Go. Who the hell are you, man?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
We are the Knights
Hold on to your butt.
And now for something completely different.
Hello out there, and welcome to the Knights of Nerdatude podcast. We're a podcast for all things nerd. My name is Chris. I'm here in person with Sam. Drip on.
I'm supposed to... I'm just going to do mine anyways. Like a horoscope, but dumber, it's Sam.
I've doubled my dose of Darkenflux. It's John.
And affirmative, whatever.
Sean, drip on.
Acknowledged.
See,
I was like,
damn it, Sam.
I was like, crap,
you should have explained this to me earlier. I didn't know you were setting me up.
Except he did. You just ignored him.
And folks, if you don't know, that's a reference to Spiderhead.
Spiderhead.
Oh, I thought it was Obi-Wan.
I thought it was a Lightyear.
That's what Redacted says to him at the end.
That's going to be a focus for tonight's episode, as well as Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Finished the season and series.
Possibly season.
So
I don't know.
We don't know yet.
We can discuss. We did review that. Discuss what happens, what's going on, what we do like.
Last two episodes. The last two episodes, people.
Yeah, I got some Lightyear takes.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one who saw this.
You were, because I forgot what day Tuesday was.
Yes, and then let's start this off like we always do. Let's go news, guys.
Yay, down the news hole.
Should we start? Well, let's start with this. I only have one thing. It's part of yours.
Yeah.
It's part of yours. So, does anybody read the Game of Thrones books?
No.
I tried once and I just couldn't get into it.
So you know what R.R. Martin is not doing?
Writing those books.
Yeah, you know what he is doing?
Oh God.
He's working. He's in development and working on, or developing the Jon Snow series to take place after the Game of Thrones.
That's right.
The Song
that
of Ice
was
and Fire.
confirmed this week.
Yeah, so that's annoying as a fan of the written works. That is George R.R. Martin.
I mean, scale of 1 to 10, 100 is boundless hope, 1 is none at all. Where are you at that's ever going to
You mean 1 to 100 or 1 to 10?
Yeah, 1 to 100.
No,
Oh, sorry,
1 to 10.
Either way.
So 1 to 10, 10 being boundless hope?
Yes.
And then 1 being just...
None at all.
None at all. That is what? Going to finish the series or this book?
Just the series. Hell, even you can say series or next book if you differentiate.
I put... 2.
Yeah.
A 2. A solid 2, if not trending not to
he's not a young man anymore. He's
he's over the 70. He's definitely older than 70.
Yeah.
But he's been writing this Winds of Winter book 6, for he said he was started writing in like 2010. So
yeah, did he?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Didn't he never write a book the entire run of the series?
I thought 1 came out like after season 1 or something like that.
Yes, 1 came out, but but it's he has massive gaps. It's been like thin gaps. Granted, there was no show, and then there's been like a 10-year, and now it's 13.
I mean,
he has been very busy. Obviously,
benefit of the
doing
doubt,
everything
though.
else,
Like writing is hard, but
agreed.
People expect you to write.
You're selling us this product here, and if anything, this show has made the books more popular.
I'll say this: if the last 2 years have not yielded anything, there is absolutely no hope.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, he was recently working on Elden Ring.
There's absolutely no hope.
He was also working on like Night Stalkers or that sci-fi show, whatever it was. Night Flyers.
Night Flyers. I have no idea.
Hey, he can do whatever he wants. He can finish his book series.
Look,
it's not going to be a great, testament to him. But
I just hope that when it's time, and I feel like this time has already passed. Mm-hmm. He just describes what he envisioned and passes it on to some Tom Clancy has given
like a
essentially
ghostwriter?
Writing rights to somebody else.
I'm almost curious. I wonder if he has finished and he's just gonna release it posthumously.
Look, he hates, and he just is consistent with hating internet trolls. Every time he talks about it, he hates all that stuff. But then again, you're like, dude, you're 70. Why the hell are you on Twitter?
Well, not to get too deep into a story that has not changed in 13 years, they're going to make a Jon Snow one?
Mm-hmm.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
Wrong person.
Yes.
Arya Stark would be far more interesting. What's west of
Yeah.
Westeros? I mean, come on.
I
East
guess.
Road.
Or even Sansa.
Yeah, Sansa would
I
be.
think it would be Arya, Sansa,
Essos, by the way.
maybe Bran.
Real content.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like Jon Snow is one of the last.
Yeah.
One of the
he
last
wasn't
people you want
that-
to see.
I think Jon Snow was interesting because of the situations he found himself in at the wall, beyond the wall, fighting White Walkers.
Dying.
Plus,
Yes, good point. Not necessarily because he was having sex with his aunt, not necessarily because he was interesting, nor do I really think Kit Harington is really
Capable.
appealing in and of himself
not,
either.
not only that, like Jon Snow was most interesting when he was banging what's her face.
Rose Leslie, his wife.
Yeah, his wife.
IRL wife.
Yeah.
Like all I could think of is like Rose Leslie. What was her character's name? And like I think this is the only thing I've ever seen her in. But
You don't watch Downton Abbey.
true.
There you go.
I think she was in the murder.
Oh, she's in The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel.
Oh God, which was based on a D&D character he
So
has.
Sure.
great.
No, that's true. Like I
that's not
read
just-
that up.
Oh no, I know he's really into D&D.
Yeah.
but
So yeah, the Last Witch Hunter was.
Movie's not
But
great.
oh God, what, Death on the Nile. That's it. She's in that.
Is she in that? That's on the list of things to watch. It's on
Yeah,
HBO.
I watched
it's
it.
Sitting, it's sitting right
but
there.
like
It's a
that,
movie.
that was the only time he was interesting, and it was mostly because she's interesting.
Yeah. And I think you had Tormund, you had other people, like Mance Rayder was kind of cool.
Yeah,
the Giants.
Love Kieran Hines.
like he had like a fish out of water kind of deal going on
Yeah.
with the wildlings, and which is why, like his ending in that show, like as bad as that ending was, I thought his ending was really
was the
good.
best. Yeah.
Whereas, like, yes, he will go with the wildlings where he finally felt at home.
Kind of makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And be at peace.
Be
And
at
we don't
peace.
need to rustle the peace.
Yeah,
you know?
just go off there.
Just, yeah. Go on. Like, we're just the Harry and the Hendersons end.
We don't want you anymore.
Which might have just come up off pod. Anyway, yeah, not thrilled. Not thrilled at that news.
I'm also
Honestly,
not
just-
really on it for the House of Targaryens either.
I'm gonna
very
give it a
iffy about it.
shot. But
He's got Matt Smith in it.
but I'm not
Yeah.
like
You know what else had Matt Smith in it? Morbius.
the Crown.
But did you see Matt Smith's butt in that movie?
Okay.
Has Tennant been in any of them? Why do I feel like he has?
David Tennant? No.
Yeah. Man, I feel like he was in a Sony one. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just thinking.
He,
Matt
I mean,
Smith.
he was in Jessica Jones.
Okay, maybe that was.
He was the
it.
purple
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And he was amazing.
Cool. Anyway, so yeah, so I don't know. I think we're all kind of mixed on that, and we haven't really been hyping up the other one too much either.
It comes out
But-
next August 20 something.
If that comes out, then
I'll give it a shot, but I'll be completely honest. I'm more excited for War of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Sure.
got some stills on that. Some orcs coming out.
Yeah.
You know, we'll take this audio medium to explain the visual pictures, but
Look, I'm in. Let's get the Kana classics going. Let's just bang this out. Let's
we
get in the right
actually-
Lord of the
if-
Rings mind
If
frame
we're gonna
here.
do it, we really should just do it. So possibly coming up. There's not many movies out these days. There was when I looked this weekend, 5 movies playing at Showcase.
Yeah, it was a
So,
lot.
It's yeah,
Downton Abbey was one of them.
I think it was like 2 showings.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of television, guys, I know you've been waiting on bated breaths for news about the Yellowstone spin-off series, 1932, starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. Not joking. It's got a new title,
Red 3.
1923. Chris, what are your thoughts?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I'm not checked into Yellowstone or 1893 or whatever.
I've never
it is.
actually sat down and watched any of them. So, like, I want to say, like, I'm checked out, but, like, I've never been checked in.
Okay,
So.
fair enough.
I feel like I should try giving it a shot. It's just there's so much TV and movies nowadays.
I don't know if that would. Can we talk TV for a minute?
Sure.
Y'all would love Barry too. Berries are really
Oh yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple episodes actually.
I don't know if Chris would totally be feeling it. Sam, on the other hand,
I feel like that's a good Sam show.
That's
It's a comedy,
that's an-
but it's a dark comedy.
And it gets very dark. That would be a great Sam
I like
show.
dark comedies.
Yeah, I
probably
feel
would
like
enjoy
I know what that show's about, and I'm like, yeah, but like I just never think of it when I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I should watch a show.
I'm usually when I'm like, I'm gonna watch a show. First thing I do
'Cause
is
the problem is
Hulu.
like nobody talks about that show.
This is why we need the whiteboard. Just write shows that we
Right,
think
yeah.
others will like. Just
Yeah, I've always thought of
there.
just
Pop it
making a
on there.
list of things I need to watch.
Well, it's not even if we have it up there, then at least I'll know. Like, all right, if I'm scrolling through something and I
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it, then oh wait, that's Barry. For
by the
example.
way, so yeah, we have a big whiteboard, and I want to bring this up to at least two of you because you were there. I love that the whiteboard still has the unreleased Knights knockout.
Have we never
from
released?
2020?
No, we should. I think I've been just meaning to like. Oh no, I'll put the Twilight Zone. We did a ranking of Twilight Zone episodes, or no, a bracket.
a
bracket, yeah.
Of yeah.
And-
We'll release it out. And you know what? It's always I think we did it around July 3rd.
I believe we did, and
For
we
that
did
reason?
it outside
Yeah.
around a fire.
Because
During
that was like
COVID.
COVID, so we were like, oh, we have to be outside. And
Yeah, we'll release the lost episode.
honestly, like I had a lot of fun making
Oh,
that.
that was a great
That was
episode
good.
to like do.
Like combination of like I just love talking about Twilight Zone
Yep.
and just the weirdness of us sitting around a fire with microphones
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
We
it.
should bring that format back.
I'm not against it.
I mean, we still have the fire pit out there.
Not against
I just
it.
like that, like, campside or, the
Yeah.
fire cracking. Maybe we'll just, Sean, maybe you could just add that in the back. Like, they don't have to know we're not outside now.
yeah, without mosquitoes, please.
Yeah.
Hey, Mosquito Joe.
Every time I end up at Sean's house, I always seem to get mosquito
we're getting
bites.
sprayed again
Anywhere you go, you get eaten by mosquitoes.
That's valid.
you got that premium blood.
I got the good blood. I got the good blood.
You should buy one of those like portable like battery operated like mosquito traps.
You know what? I did
Just
see
walk
on
around
the on the
Like an
internet.
old prospector.
Is the electric zapper, like the ping pong.
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Oh,
yeah, we
Like,
have some
I
of
kinda
those.
wanna get that.
A friend of our dad's shocked himself with it.
Really?
Yeah, he was like hitting it. He's like, it doesn't work. Ow! Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Fair enough.
I think I was there for that.
I think so. It was a July 3rd party.
Yeah.
Of course, it's July. Everything revolves around that date for us.
Yes, it does.
That's about it. Oh, I do have a new show for you guys that I'm going to throw out on the podcast, even though I already threw it out on the text. But The Old Man with Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow on FX and Hulu. Really good.
Okay.
Really good,
Like,
thriller.
I've seen commercials for that because my mom just watches
Oh, The
Simpsons on
FX.
FXX,
For some reason.
despite the fact we have Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't know.
right.
But like, there's commercials for it, and I was like, oh, maybe it's a weird like spy thriller, old guy, and then I saw John Lithgow, and I'm like, I'm in.
Is this year? Came out
yes.
this year.
It's the third episode is like tonight.
like literally a couple of weeks.
It's really good. And I'll say this. Give it 15 minutes. Very slow 15 minutes. Not the rest of the show is not. I would say it's not like a hyper thriller, but it's not like a slow burn either.
Not like the Outer Range.
No, yeah, not like Outer Range. Outer Range had a great ending.
Can I?
There's a mountain that disappears, guys.
Is it really?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the mountain with the
There's a-
thing
there's
on
a-
it that she was looking at in the
There's
first or second.
there's so much about Outer Range I would love to tell you and just spoil the shit out of that show.
Oh,
Oh,
I mean, I feel like you should.
it wasn't
'cause-
done. It wasn't done, by the way. This is like the first season. Are you guys shocked now when you find out something is not like a single thing? Like that,
not
like,
after Halo.
a new show?
I'm like
Oh.
kind of numb to it now.
I'm still surprised things have second seasons.
Yeah.
OA, Halo. Yeah, I got you. Any other news?
Yeah, so I have really quick news. So to lead into probably our first thing we'll talk about. So Chris Hemsworth was actually interviewed recently about portraying Thor with this movie coming out. This will be 11 years of him being Thor, which means he's 5 years behind Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. So he was asked about that, like, because, there's the rumors saying that this is it. He's going to hang it up after this movie. But now he's like during the interview, he was like, God, never thought about that. Like that, I'm so close to the record of portraying a character for so long. He's like, maybe I should be in Deadpool 3 just in spite of Hugh Jackman.
Is he? So that's Iron Man was what 2008
08 to 2019. So
for
11
Endgame.
years.
So
Well,
11,
no,
so-
he'd be like 09.
No, Iron Man came out in 08.
Oh wait.
Oh, are you saying? What do you mean?
Yeah.
You mean Downey?
Oh
or,
yeah. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it'd be 10 years, right? No.
Or no, 11.
08
It
to
was
9,
19.
10, 11.
It was Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame was 19.
Yeah, so 11 years. Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, so Thor came out in 2009.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be
No, wasn't it 10?
or 9 or I don't know. Well, either way, and then
It might
it
be
comes out
10
in
because like I
2022.
remember
Yeah, I think
like
it's
we
10.
got
It's
Oh,
20.
no, it's Iron Man 2.
we got
right?
Iron Man and then Iron Man 2 before we got anything else.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Or no, I think Captain America in between.
Captain
What?
America in between.
No,
Oh, no.
Thor
Captain
came out
America.
before.
Captain America came
Is-
out before Avengers.
Yeah, that was the movie right before.
Okay,
Avengers.
right, because Captain America makes a cameo in Iron Man 2, right?
Well, he's
Like,
Shield.
isn't it the Shield? Yeah.
Yeah. We can't. The
we're-
audience
we're-
can't see the air quotes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're getting off
That's
here.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
yeah,
that's
so he's
that's
the
curious.
longest. So
Yeah.
Hugh and then
Yeah.
Hemsworth, huh?
Yeah, so he's 5 years away from
I
breaking
mean,
Hugh's record.
He's not like Hugh Jackman. I don't think was as like physically into it as Hemsworth
Are you
is
sure
in real
about
life.
that?
No. Like
Yeah,
Hemsworth,
like,
Hemsworth
like-
is essentially. I mean, I don't want to say centered around his
Yeah.
center platform, but it's just,
Yeah, I don't think Hemsworth's gonna go off and do Broadway shows like Jack.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't see Music Man in his future.
Yeah, I think Hemsworth is going to stick with his fitness
That would be-
app or program or whatever
Yeah.
whatever it is.
That would just be great though. Like one Music Man performance, he just like the claws come out.
Look, I mean, depending on the
what's-
movie ends, sure.
Question: what song would the claws come out on?
I've never seen Music Man.
You've never
and
seen
I know
Music
you.
Man?
Yeah, I knew you guys were gonna frame or
Tisk.
bully me for that.
Tisk.
Bully me for my lack of seeing a musical.
Oh, I love a Music
I have
Man.
no
great-
idea what that is. So
The Music Man?
have you beat?
It is. Buddy Hackett's in it. Come on.
I need a face.
Buddy Hackett, since you have two daughters, you've seen The Little Mermaid, right?
Which I'm assuming
The
the
Disney.
animated.
Yes.
Disney,
Yes.
okay.
You know Scuttle the seagull?
Yeah,
That's Buddy Hackett.
sure.
That's
Great face.
Sorry, that's toned down, way down Buddy Hackett.
it's a great face right there.
Hey, remember the parrot in Lion King? That's Mr. Bean.
Uh,
Oh no.
He's not a parrot.
What is he?
Oh God, he's a hornbill.
Okay.
Boy.
The
All right,
parrot.
all
You
right,
mean
all
the
right.
parrot in Aladdin?
Yes. Also, I didn't. Well, yeah. I guess I kind of conflated the two.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Gilbert Godfrey. He looks just like that, and R.I.P.
Yes.
Okay.
Imagine
Okay.
a fat Gilbert
I
Godfrey.
don't even want to. All I
that's
can
Buddy
think of is
Hack.
Iago right now. That's all I can think of.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not horribly wrong, but
Let's progress on here.
all right.
So let's talk about Lightyear.
You want to go Lightyear?
Yeah.
I tossed that up for Spiderhead. Chris Hemsworth news. Fine. Take away my toss up. Swing and a miss on John.
Let's bang out
Okay.
Lightyear. It's going to be quick hit. Can I just start with movie experience? Because
Sure.
it was
Sure.
a first movie going experience for
Yep.
one of my
This
kids.
is a movie. I'm still shocked at face value. It was released theatrically, not on Disney Plus. It's doesn't it seem so much like a Disney Plus movie?
Very much so.
So Pixar's last movie, which was Turning Red, came out on Disney Plus strictly, and Pixar was pissed
Yeah.
that they did that because they also did that with Luca last year. So
Now, Turning Red, it was released sort of in the winter, right?
no, it was released this year. I think I watched it on my way
It was
to
earlier this year.
Was it like March?
It was like March. It was like
Yeah.
early March.
But there were, in theory, like people were a little more restrictive with, the
I
numbers
guess
a little
I
bit.
guess.
But
Yeah.
I mean, there's no excuse now to
Yeah.
do it otherwise. But they were upset about that because
Yeah.
it was supposed to have a theatrical release,
Yes,
right?
it was.
And they shifted it.
Yep.
Yeah. So first movie going experience, kid loved it.
Oh,
It loved going. And we'll get to the movie later, but loved going. excited. Had a freaking massive thing of popcorn.
Yes.
Massive thing of popcorn. I've never seen the kid eat so much popcorn.
Was it one of the souvenir ones or
No, they only had. I after I ordered, I looked kind of around the soda dispenser and I saw the cups and I'm like, damn it! I wish I knew that, but then again, I don't. She's never had soda, so I don't want to start that trend. I don't want to start that.
That's like
Well,
such
they
a
have-
layup
yeah.
too to like make the popcorn thing like the helmet.
yeah.
Well, so they because like for Solo, I have it on our wall. That there's a trooper helmet that I have. That was the
thing.
popcorn tub for
It's a
Solo.
tiny popcorn.
Yeah.
It was a very tiny popcorn tub.
So, but no, like
I mean, I like the cup. The cup was really cool because it was a collector's cup, but you had the stormtrooper helmet on top of it, and then it was a big ass straw that went in like that. That is a legit.
those are the popcorn
souvenir.
buckets.
Man,
though.
they
Like,
really-
Oh yeah,
I
the-
like those.
But the one in the middle, that is the soda cup for Solo, and that was 110% worth it. Like that thing is awesome.
For a second there, I thought you were saying that was $110.
yeah, that's
On
he
eBay.
made it sound as like that. Anyway, the movie going experience for her. Loved going to the movies. You know, it was an exciting time. I was so happy. I was so happy about that. One of the worst movie going experience I've ever had. Kid next to me, got
yeah.
ADHD, 8 years old boy, and it didn't help. It didn't help that this movie. We'll get into this review now. Lightyear, way over her head.
Oh yeah.
Way over her head.
That sounded very
I mean, it without a doubt, way over her head. And then it showed throughout the rest. It showed throughout the whole movie with the whole. It was kid audience, so you know everybody just kind of just. And it was funny. And this is the review. This is the review in a nutshell.
Yep.
My daughter looks at me 45 minutes through the movie. She goes, "Where are Buzz's friends?" And I go, "They're not in this movie." And then from that, quite literally from that moment on, the theater was just a nut house. Like a nut house. The kids were just checked out, no interest in anything whatsoever. And that's this movie in a nutshell. Where this movie is about Buzz.
Yeah.
Sure. It's a different voice.
So-
you can get over that. Different animation, I think it really turned people off. But it's just
So
I mean, where are the friends?
I heard in the beginning is a title slide.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's Andy's favorite movie, which led him to want the Buzz Lightyear toy from like 1994 or whatever it was.
95.
95.
so dumb.
So that's it. So
Honestly, I don't mind that.
So
I
dumb.
kind of like that.
No,
Excuse
that's them just like being like, oh, right, this movie has nothing to stand on. I guess we'll invent a reason.
So let me rewrite. So this movie is about Buzz. Buzz is they land a space ranger and their ship crashes on a planet or lands on a planet. They explore and then he tries to escape and he crash lands and essentially they're stuck there and he has to learn to. They need to rebuild their light speed to escape.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's this movie. Just once he goes into light speed, time passes by and then he's essentially sees his life kind of go by and you know all this other stuff. So that's over the kids' heads.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
way over the kids' heads.
1000%.
And then you start throwing in like emotional gravity of the situations and things like that, and way over the kids' heads. Like way over. I think there's a few people who kind of got it and talked to their siblings or friends about it, and they were like 13, you know, young teenager, whatever. But let me rewrite this movie for you. Let me rewrite it in such a way that probably would have made it at least 3 times better. You had that opening scene where the opening thing where it said, "This is Andy's favorite movie."
Yeah.
If you showed the old animation Woody with Tom Hanks and all the other voices come up with all the toys and said, "Hey guys, we just got Andy's favorite movie. He ordered on a VHS."
Yeah. Okay.
And then you had them actually showed them like in Andy's room, the old Andy room, Slink, Rex, all the voices, everything there. And then you had them just go up to the VCR, put it in, play the movie, sat down. And then you had the MST 3000
Oh, see,
backdrop. If you had that,
Oh,
because
See, I
imagine
wouldn't.
that.
that's that's a VOD.
Right.
That's not.
I would have loved that.
see. I like that idea for the intro. That is a great idea for the intro, and I'm surprised they didn't do that. But yeah, having the silhouettes, no.
Look, I think the silhouettes would have made it. Would number one, it would have made 100% more interesting because you could have just infused comedy where there absolutely was none.
Well, I think that just speaks to how shitty the movie is.
The movie was a bad movie, and you could just, I mean, to make it a little bit better, you could have done that.
Yeah, let me ask you this because I found this is an interesting take. Was it plausibly Andy's favorite movie in any shape or form?
No, I don't understand how he would have. I don't like when he was watching it.
Yeah,
no
like,
idea.
Like,
No
would
idea.
this have been his favorite? Like, would this have been your
yeah.
6-year-old kid version of you's favorite movie?
No, no. I just don't. It doesn't. I can't. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's they made the movie about a concept that was too adult for its own good, and everybody's just looking
Kind
at
of
it.
like what Pixar's been doing, but I feel like they've always done well at it. Where, yes,
Sure.
the over, like the tones of the movie, like what's going on in the movie, it's usually a very adult theme. I mean, the one that always pops
But
up.
that's
is like
10
Up.
minutes. Yeah.
Up.
Like
Up,
Up
yeah,
is
you're-
like
I'm thinking
it's so adult where like people who are like 90 understand what's going on.
But there's
a
a
5-year-old
talking dog, so the kids are
right.
No,
But I
but it's
think,
not. It's
too,
not even that. Break it down even
the
further.
opening is like very simple. Like, I think it's for a kid, they might not totally grasp and like understand the sort of gravity of it, but I think they can follow it. Like, this
But
sounds like this is
it's
even
also
just, like,
3 minutes long.
Yes, exactly.
It's also 3 minutes.
5
long.
minutes
So
long.
up is it's a higher kind of value set. You have that like upper echelon of like emotions and values, but it's literally a kid running around with an old man, flying around with an old man. A journey, simple journey.
Bunch of
That's
balloons,
it. There's the
talking dog.
basic plot. Kids love it. Toy Story, same thing. All the Toy Story movies. It's essentially hierarching values where parents will pick up on certain things, but there's like toys stuck in a daycare trying to escape, or Buzz and Woody fighting and all that other. It's like it's simple. You simplified it, but then you get Lightyear where it's just a little bit. It's just too much that they tried to condense down, and it's not meant for kids. It's not meant for kids.
Yeah, I just think they just don't have it.
They're not.
anymore.
Yeah, I think they lost it. I think they lost it with Turning Red, which was bad, and then
You watched Turning Red?
Part of it. I couldn't even.
I watched
sit
the whole
through
thing.
I couldn't even
It
sit through
wasn't bad. It really
No,
wasn't bad.
Fine. Then I'll take your word for it. Fine. A decent Turning Red movie. This was bad. Luca, I did not like.
Luca was just so much better than Encanto, though.
Encanto was 50, like hit or miss. Certain things were good. Anyway, I don't want to go through Pixar.
No,
but
no,
like
no,
this
but-
movie,
What's your? Oh, sorry.
yeah, this movie, not worth it. Don't go. Don't. I wouldn't be surprised if it. Like I think it opening weekend was 50 million. I think.
It lost to Jurassic World.
Yeah, I think
which
this
is just very
and that's the second week,
surprising.
and that's the second
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
and then right on the heels was Top Gun by
Yeah.
like 6 million. So it's just
Top Gun's still going really
Yeah,
strong.
Top Gun. I want to see it
The
again. I want
movie
to
of
see
the
it again.
summer.
in
If you
IMAX.
go, let me.
I
know.
want
I'll
to see
be
it in
there.
IMAX though. That's the thing. If I'm
But
gonna
you know
go.
what's in fucking IMAX now? Lightyear.
Is there, no, I'm
Maybe
not
next
doing that.
weekend. Who knows?
I wonder if they're gonna
the
re-release
weekend
it.
before Thor.
I hope
maybe.
they re-release it.
What,
I hope so.
So, Chris, you want to give this a rating?
Yeah, I'm 6.
Okay. Solid 6. It's not horrible.
I mean,
It's not a solid 6.
same
Solid
rating
7.
I gave Dominion, but
Ooh,
Well, Chris
It's back.
gave 6.9. 6.9 to Dominion. So you're
That's
saying
fine. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah, I can live with that. All right, we'll move on.
move
by
on
the
to the
way,
next movie.
Top Gun back, but it's like the 10 o'clock showing.
Top Gun back
Top Gun is back in IMAX. But
Is
it's
it
the
really?
10 o'clock
10
showing.
p.m.?
Yeah,
today or tomorrow.
it looks like the weekend.
I don't know if I can get away. That's a late show. That might be worth
That
it.
is
Might be worth it. That might be worth it.
showing.
I haven't said that about a movie in a while, but that might be worth it.
listen, if you guys go, I'll hop on
I'll try.
Yes.
just to check it out.
I'll see if I
In
can get some
IMAX,
time. Wait,
we'll-
what IMAX are we talking? Providence, or are we
Providence. Yeah,
talking
Providence.
about Natick? Okay. We'll see. I'll have to run it by some other people who are involved in my life.
All right, let's move on to our next
Bring Geneva
movie.
to that one.
Bring her to Top Gun? No, I don't think she could do that.
No, okay. Way
No,
easier to
they-
follow though.
When the plane blows up, they're just going to sleep. It's fine.
We haven't had that discussion yet.
Have
so we
you?
don't do
How
that.
many? How many conversations have you had with her about enriching uranium?
I don't know.
It's 10 o'clock. Have you talked to your kids about enriching uranium?
I don't know if we're that far into it yet. She just kind of understood that Harry Potter is a wizard. So we'll just
Well, when a radioactive isotope
there.
loves its half-life very much.
yeah.
Listen, Chris, just show her that like one scene from the last episode of Chernobyl. She'll understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course that's the dog episode is right up her alley.
No, don't show her the dog episode. Just the last episode where he explains how an RBMK reactor can explode.
Yes.
Kids will totally understand
He
that.
dumbs it down for everyone.
It wouldn't surprise me if she could sit through and not pay attention, but like hold interest with certain things. She sat through all of Mandalorian. I mean, it's just whatever.
Listen,
We're getting
Geneva,
into-
every lie occurs
into,
that cost the truth.
Yeah, we're getting into a little bit too much detail in her movie viewing habits right now.
Daddy, what's a biorobot?
Can you explain fission to me?
But what? I don't get the thing. Never mind.
All right, yeah, let's move on. What are we doing?
Spiderhead.
Are we doing that?
Okay, we do Spider-Man.
Let's jump right into. I need to talk about this movie.
Okay.
Sure thing.
I feel like this is one of those movies, not indicative of the quality, but it's like I've been very looking forward to our conversation about it.
Agreed. First of all, it's a New Yorker movie, which is
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
weird.
very. And then I was like, oh, it's based off of a short story written for the New Yorker. That makes sense.
All right, okay.
This also had been in development for a very long time, I guess.
Yeah, it's a relatively newer story. By newer, I mean less than 10 years.
Right.
But I think they've been working on it for pretty much since it came out.
So, Spiderhead, based on a short story, directed by Joseph Kosinski, who directed a little film of the summer called Top Gun, Maverick.
Yeah. Along with like Oblivion. He
Yes.
did that. And,
And-
oh God, what else has he? He's done a bunch of Tom Cruise movies.
Yes. Oh, I think did he do the Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge
no,
of Think?
No, I don't think
that
he
was
did
what's
that
his
one.
face. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, what's his face?
Yeah.
Anyways.
So Spiderhead is about starring Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller, and
Journey Smollett.
Yep, Journey Smollett. I was trying to think of was there any other stars in this?
Tess Holbrook.
I don't.
That person.
She's no Heather, the other candidate.
the attractive one. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So it's about these prisoners in, I guess, modern times, near future, something
We'll
like
say
that.
near future.
Not-
It feels like near future.
yeah, not super important, but
Apparently cyberpunk.
yeah, it's this sort of experimental
Really?
lab.
It's labeled as the
I did see that on Netflix. It is labeled as cyberpunk, which, like, kind of, yeah.
Sure, they use smartphones. Cyberpunk going on.
Yeah, I just think like the furniture's comfortable. I guess it's cyberpunk. Okay, so they're essentially on this like alternative prison, or these are inmates who have volunteered to be a part of this program, where essentially they test drugs on people, like experimental drugs, and they have this delivery system that's like, how do I put it? They sort of have this like insert in their back that they refill with different things, and they mess with the levels and stuff like that, and just see how people react to it. Chris Hemsworth is the guy kind of calling the shots. Miles Teller's one of the prisoners, as is Journey Smollett. Yeah, it kind of just goes from there. There's not really like a lot of plot.
No.
There's just like
there
a lot
isn't
of
plot.
vibing and listening to some interesting musical choices. A lot of 80s and 70s music.
So great music.
Right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
one thing that I remember, I forget who I was reading, but James Gunn's The Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad.
Yes.
So when James Gunn introduces music into the movie, like music that everyone knows that's on the radio, it kind of flows with what's going on in the movie, like the music that plays when Margot Robbie is like dreaming of the birds and like everything, like it goes along with the scene, kind of like what's being played from an audio point of view. Whereas you compare that to something like David Ayer's The Suicide Squad. The first one where it's just like, we're just going to throw random songs in this movie that really don't have anything and doesn't really like play into the movie. It's just like kind of there. And that's how I felt like this was, where it was like they had the Doobie Brothers playing and I was like, or Michael McDonald. And I was like, cool song. What's this have to do with the movie? And then
that's
I
but
feel
that's
like-
not like don't hold.
But-
don't
but
hold
it-
that.
it-
I feel like it's supposed to create sort of a surrealist kind of atmosphere of
guess.
like, yeah, this music's not exactly lining up, and that's kind of the point where like something about this whole prison is not lining
Right.
Just
up.
kind of
I got-
off, and
I got
the
that
music is
feeling.
there to like make you think everything is okay.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I got that feeling though when I was listening to music. I'm like, you're right, Mike McDonald. But then you're like, okay, what's going on? The lights in the test room are off. Like, what's coming up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I love the music.
Oh,
I mean,
music was
I
great.
enjoyed
the use
it.
of it. I could see where you're going with there.
Yeah.
Guys, what did you just think of this movie in general? I would probably describe it as a thriller-ish.
Can we?
It was a thriller.
I can
I'll-
see
I'll
what
go
you're
through it.
talking
Yeah.
about because there's
Yeah.
just definitely like a tonal shift at the end, like hard right.
So, my feelings about this movie is it's 2/3 of a really good movie.
Oh yeah.
And then
Okay.
the third act happens and it kind of just ends.
It was very odd.
Like we kind of rush to an end,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
kind of climax, and we're like,
so
good. And it feels like it was written for a different movie.
yeah. So spoilers. Not like I need to say that because not many people are probably going to see this, or if you have, you already have. Anyways, like the ending where Miles Teller's like, "You lied to me. You're in charge. Why are you doing this? Oh, to test this drug that I completely agreed with you doing. I agreed to all this. How dare you do this to me, even though I agreed to it?"
Well, the point being that like he wasn't telling him the whole truth.
So welcome to testing things.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, like it's called a placebo effect. Here, we're going to give you this drug, but no, it's just a sugar pill. Like you're trying to get those results without telling the subject what's going on.
Listen, if we want to talk about the efficacy of like the testing in this, it's like terrible. But
Oh yeah, but like even like he was like, "Oh yeah, you guys were free to go like weeks ago." I was like, "How long was their sentences?" Like,
Was it their sentence or like their trial in this thing?
No, I think it
Probation,
was-
probation there because they said that it was probation involved. Like they were,
I get like they really didn't get like he said you were free to go a week ago or something
Yeah.
like that. Like that's what
They
he
never
which-
that never really made a lot of sense.
Yeah,
to
like
me.
like he was tried and convicted of was it double homicide?
Yeah, or like
No, he was-
manslaughter.
or drug-
yeah, he was-
manslaughter and
involuntary
two-
manslaughter.
yeah.
involuntary manslaughter.
And like this happened based on what it looked like. It happened like a year or a couple years ago.
I don't want to take it like that. It could have been
But
10 years because
I doubt it was 10 years.
Miles Teller is going to be an ageless human being. I think he's always
guess.
going to look
Just
22.
honestly, just like Hemsworth.
Yeah,
Like Hemsworth, like dude, like
how'd you guys like Hemsworth in this?
was
I
fine.
actually enjoyed the fact that he's kind of like
Yeah.
flexing his muscles with a little bit.
I'm
you know, a
honestly,
little
I
bit of
was
range
digging
there.
evil Hemsworth.
I really liked him. I thought he
like,
was good.
It wasn't a great performance, but like I was really digging him being
Do
evil.
you want to see more?
Well,
No,
actually,
yeah, it
Not
scares me.
not
It
of
scares
literal
me.
Spiderhead, but just
No,
of,
no,
of
no.
evil like
Yeah,
him
I
doing
could- I
Evil
could dig-
Hemsworth makes me
like,
scared.
Because my feeling with this is like, this is like for the past 10 years what every dark sci-fi movie has been trying to be.
I guess.
Like he was so just like the standard Silicon Valley evil guy,
Yes.
and
Like a better version of the guy from last week, the Lost World.
The Lost
guy.
World.
yeah, but like this one actually worked. And
Oh, yeah.
they usually don't work, but like this one, like
But
all
like
right.
at the same point, personally, I didn't see how he was the bad guy in all of this.
Yes.
Like, how is he the
Look,
bad
there's
guy?
a few like question marks
Yeah.
in this. Like, is this supposed to drop as hard as it does, or not drop hard enough? And that's one of those things.
Yeah, like he's he's conducting the tests and everything. Yeah, he's in charge of the pharmaceutical company,
Another
which is
another drop where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
so what's the big deal?
which is weird because like when there's an owner of a company, they never have a board that tells the owner what to do, like ever, like.
Wait, I don't know what's your point with that.
No,
He always refers to
He's
the
always
board.
he's
or
like,
the
oh, I had to
panel, or-
refer to the board, and they like,
Yeah.
but the board doesn't exist because apparently he can do whatever he wants with this company, even though that's not
mean,
how
if-
companies
if-
really
I don't
work.
think
If
it was
it's
a
a private
board of
company-
directors. I think it was like some sort of board
Well, he-
governing the tests he was.
Yeah.
But he was making it all up.
Yeah.
Is the thing? Like,
yeah.
'cause-
Well, he was trying to
'cause-
blame it on someone else.
right, which
I don't know. He kind of gave that girl a lot of scary medicine that made her kill herself, and
which was an accident,
kinda
which
reckless.
easily.
Well.
Well, it
Yeah, but like the whole time, there's like there's no way any of this is ethical, and like clearly he's just like
but
gunning for a
I'm
result.
I'm
But-
not saying he's the worst guy in a movie, but like I think he's a bad.
Not
guy.
only that, like if you're trying to make a drug that just makes people follow orders,
Yeah.
like I don't think you're the good guy.
The definition of a bad guy.
or even the scary drug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that was one of the ways it kind of lost me at the end, where it's like the drugs just like, "Ooh, I'm gonna make you follow orders," and so it's like, okay, this is the most because
yeah.
like up to that
Yeah.
point, this is kind of like there's a bit of ambiguity to like the whole plot, where it's like, yeah, like I'm not sure about like the whole like morality of testing people, but at the same time, these are all kind of terrible people in in some ways.
yeah, like everybody. So
They're all
and-
criminals
and-
and stuff. So it's like, okay, like what? Like,
that's the
who's
like,
really right? Who's really wrong?
That's the thing
and
that
then
comes
they-
up with the whole like, is he actually the bad guy? Like Chris Hemsworth is
Oh,
the
he's
bad
the bad
guy.
guy.
But he's the bad guy. But it's like he's the bad guy up against a bunch of murderers, who all once again volunteered for this program. They knew what they were getting
Well,
involved in.
that's the question. Did they actually know?
But like the movie doesn't get into that.
I mean, it implies that they didn't know.
Yeah,
But like, is it worse than actual prison? Even
Yeah,
then,
right.
you know, like they, kind of have
They
some
have
nice
a-
accommodations.
yeah, it's like yeah,
Well, that's sort of like the whole point of like that they were leaning at like the Silicon Valley evil guy, where it's like, yeah, he's being like kind of superficially nice to everyone, but really in any kind of meaningful way, he's kind of an asshole to everyone.
And he's like a very like damaged person too. Like,
Yeah.
you see him, getting super hopped up on the sex one.
N40.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the thing like the bingo card, I didn't
Yeah.
really like.
Yeah.
A lot of these
What
are
is it?
like,
why are you so upset that he's using a bingo
Yeah,
card
it's
to
like-
name
I
his drug?
guess like in the sense that like he's trivializing this, but like
sure, but like it
doesn't quite work.
But it's
No.
played as if it's
Yeah,
you know.
and the whole like Miles Teller like figuring out everything, it was just so dumb.
like
Yeah.
doesn't it feel like they wrote 2/3 of a
Yeah.
movie and then
Well, up
realized they had to write an ending?
It was like up until that part, they were like, "All right, what does he find?" And they were like, bingo card."
yeah,
Like it just from that point on, the movie was just lost.
yeah.
I feel like, and it's weird too, and I know this is like, I'm just like not offering a solution here, but like, I feel like there was a good twist somewhere in there. But they just didn't do it. you know?
Yeah,
like there was a
it's-
good ending.
The whole third act just falls apart.
Yeah.
kinda.
yeah,
And
and
Like I
I
dig
don't
the
wanna say
first two
I
acts.
don't want to say it falls apart. It just kind of like drops.
it
Yeah,
fell flat.
it's-
It fell flat.
Falls flat like a dead fish.
Yeah, it's like
sure.
right
it's
on the
it's just
table,
like this is what happened. That's
Do you like it? No, I don't. I'm sorry.
I still think it's an enjoyable movie though. Like I think it's a good watch.
it was fine.
2/3 of it. Yeah.
2/3 was interesting enough to keep my attention.
it's
The
a
last
one
third-
watch. It's a one watch.
Oh,
Like-
I think it's
like,
a one watch.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
John. Like I was really digging Evil Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Like
I
because
think
like
I'll watch
that
it maybe one more time.
that whole like
You know the twist that happens that like definitely falls flat is that Miles Teller kills his girlfriend. That was the twist. Because remember, up until that point,
don't-
he
Yeah.
killed his friend.
Oh,
And then-
no, that his girlfriend was also
And
in
then
the car.
his girlfriend was also in the car, and
Okay.
like that was the twist. And I was just like,
oh if you were gonna ask me like
Okay.
what twist falls flat, it's the other girl where she's like, oh,
yeah,
I
killed-
accidentally
yeah.
killed my mother,
Or
my daughter,
child, yeah.
my 9-month-old daughter, and I was like, see, I feel like vehicular manslaughter was actually worse.
And
I don't know. When it came up, it was like, oh, what she did was worse. Like, oh, she probably killed a child or something like that.
And
But like it was like I sort of forgot. It was accidental, not like I was completely irresponsible and drove around drunk.
always got to check that back seat.
Yep.
I don't know. I felt like Miles Teller was worse.
Yeah, you could say. Did we ever find out what the Australian guy was in for?
No.
The
never said
Australian
that.
guy.
The like the
buff guy?
tattooed
Yeah,
guy.
Don't they mention
we?
it? Like he like threw his girlfriend out a window.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
he did.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. That's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. What is it? The poop wiper or something like that.
Which we never get an answer to.
Yeah, we do.
No, we do.
It's the
crack
woman.
stick
Crazy,
girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not crazy.
Because she's got poop
crackhead.
on her hands. And
All
they're
right, I
like,
didn't
oh,
catch
the poop
that.
In fact, don't they say like I knew it was you or something like
Yeah.
that?
They're like, yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
at
know.
that
I didn't
point, the
hate
movie
that.
takes like that comedy turn, and you're
which
just
is
like,
So
I don't think this
what
fits.
song is playing at that point?
But I don't know. It kept flashing.
Oh god, like because that was like interesting how like the music that was playing. I was like, I dig this, but like the choreographed fighting was just bad.
Sure, but it's just they turned it into a comedy. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's
It's a
a nice
tone
little
shift.
infusion of something, but it just doesn't really fit.
Yeah, it's a movie that's a little all over the place. I think it probably benefited for me personally to some extent that I have just such a low expectations for Netflix movies that this one
Yeah.
being like okay was like, hey, it's
Yeah,
okay.
right.
And what are we? I think it's like $1.45. It's not very long.
No, it's short. It is
And
short.
it moves too, you know.
Yeah,
like I
there's
think you
no
get to the
real-
third act and you're like, oh, I guess the movie's ending. you know.
I really liked Hemsworth.
So-
Like he really stood out.
So
Kinda made it.
the actual ending to this. So the short story is Miles Teller's character actually essentially commits suicide through the drug. He overdoses on it and is like he is happy now. Like as everything ends, like he's at peace, and that's how it's supposed to end, not with Chris Hemsworth doing it.
This is a better ending.
I disagrey.
This is a
This dumb
ending.
ending. It was a bad ending.
This kind of just ends.
Look,
where
how
it's
did-
like,
look-
oh, let's wrap everything up.
Look, regardless of which way you look at it, who kills himself or the other,
Right.
it's going to
Well,
be the same. It's the same ending.
You've got
It's
the
the same.
the partner who's been through this whole ordeal with Chris Hemsworth,
turns on a dime.
and then turns immediately
Yeah.
on him and gets the cops involved. Like, what?
Yeah, it's hard. It seems like they almost lack development of a character.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his character is not
Right there.
developed at all. And like early on, Hemsworth is like, "Oh, I brought you in for this one like reason or whatever. You should be here." And he's like, "Oh, okay. I'm just going to be a silent character for like the next hour, and then I'm going to have like a change of heart because I talked to somebody who killed his two friends in a car accident."
Yeah, although I think Chris Hemsworth's actions when the girl kills herself was
Which-
like suspect. Like I do think
Right.
that might
It
have
was-
crossed
which-
the line
which-
with him.
What happened there was an accident and could easily be explained as an accident. Now, whether or not what they're doing,
But isn't it like what Teller did? Like, isn't it like reckless?
But
endangerment?
but it was the
It's a trial.
it was it was the trial, but it was a malfunction due to her damaging that thing.
Honestly, for me, the like biggest like thing that I don't think made sense or like was just sort of not believable was that this is like the only time that happened that like they never
Oh, yeah.
had an issue with that or
Right,
like
you
that
think
wouldn't
there would be a
happen
medic.
constantly.
You think if it's attached to your back,
right, you're gonna
like
bump.
you're gonna bump it, even like when the two people are having sex.
They
like,
even said it
you're gonna
afterwards. He's
bump
like,
it.
just be wary not to touch that.
Right. So like you're gonna bump it. So like yeah. So what?
The sex part was just.
Oh my god.
So ridiculous. But you know what? Like in the moment, I'm like, okay, sure, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
And it's just showing the big dude in him, and he's just like, nope, don't acknowledge.
but
No, I don't know, but
there
it's
should
funny.
be,
Like I don't know. I just feel like the first 2/3 are good enough that and a lot of movies have shitty ending. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
really. Like I mean, don't we sit here and like look? I'm not trying to like defend Spiderhead, but like, don't we sit here and like talk about how like the first like 2/3 of like most of the Marvel movies are like good, and then the ending just sucks.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, John. Like, first 2/3 of this, like, is a movie I can get behind.
I just think that the last third of this movie, the final, like everything, once he finds that bingo card, from that point on, it's just so absurd that it just makes no sense.
Well, yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
Honestly, I would say like it's not absurd enough, because everything up to this is absurd.
Oh yeah.
And then the third act is kind of just very bland.
It's very like paint by numbers, twisty sci-fi.
Yeah,
like the whole thing about them actually testing for the drug that keeps people like compliant, like that whole like realization is like.
But it's like it's told with like no nuance or whatsoever.
And it's never like there's no sort of setting the stage for it either.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't, if that was the twist, it's not necessarily a bad one, but there's really nothing.
No setup to that.
But like I was expecting something a bit more nuanced, where it's like, okay, I can kind of understand why someone would get behind this, but it's just like, oh, let's just make everyone obedient.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and like. What really confuses me is why Miles Teller gets so mad when he somehow gets to that realization.
Like, I can kind of understand why he gets mad, but like,
but you're
that
in a trial. Like you're in a trial.
Yeah, I know, but that thing of like the lab monkey getting upset, he's a lab monkey. Like that is like a real thing, though. Like I mean,
understand
people
that.
like, even though they sort of sign up for a shitty situation, are still like, no, fuck you for putting me through.
But like at the same time, it's like. You can also see where it's like, it's kind of a false choice. It's like, do you want to get raped in a prison or be a lab monkey?
Yeah.
Like, is that really a choice?
Right. Or do you want to be, raped in this medical trial by a giant Australian man?
Yeah. It's like, are you really giving someone a choice here? It's like, do you want me to shoot you in the head?
Right.
Or just like be kind of mean to you? You're going to take that kind of mean to you.
You know what? Honestly, I think we just missed a really good like monologue from Hemsworth, more or less saying like what you just said or something in that like
but
variety.
Instead we got that monologue by Miles Teller at the end.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Teller?
He's kind of like
after this kind of hit or miss.
He's kind of in this. He's kind of like just a very bland protagonist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this he's like
we haven't seen
like
Sam and I haven't seen Top Gun yet. So.
In this,
I wouldn't say anything in that's really going to change your mind too much.
In this, it's like all Hemsworth. Just Hemsworth is there. I'm not going to say he did a great job. Like
I think he carries the movie.
There's certainly moments where you kind of see the strings of him acting and stuff. But But also, though, is he putting on a face, though, as a character? Yeah, there's a bit of that.
But that's the thing. We never get an answer to that. And then literally Miles Teller kills him by doping him up, which, first of all, that phone has a great distance for, like, being a remote control. Like, amazing distance.
It's the future, Sean. Great Wi-Fi.
But like, you can control your temperature in your house.
Right.
With, not Wi-Fi, just over cellular data.
Right. But, like, also, like, why? Why would you have the controls to your packet thing on the same device that controls all the inmates?
Haven't you heard?
Silicon Valley humor sort of
He
deal.
says it in the movies. We're all millennials separated by, arbitrary figures. All the millennials want one phone, one device.
I kind of digged what he was saying there. Whereas, like, this is kind of like very arbitrary. Why we just say you're born in this general area, a period of time, so therefore we should treat you all the same. Like, I was kind of digging that, but then like it just kind of ends it with my intro to this, where it's like a horoscope, but like stupider.
Yeah,
and it kind of just falls. Like, I don't know. Like, it kind of was supposed to fall flat. Like, I just like, where it's just like, that's a very stupid ending. But at the same time, it matches the character of like, kind of like the Silicon Valley evil guy of like, there's a lot of like faux like intellectualism going on here.
Right.
But when you get to the end, you're like, oh, this is kind of just a stupid thing he's saying.
Right. Yeah, like it's the thing you say to seem smart, but it isn't
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
that, intelligent.
And I feel like there's too many of that in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, let's give this a number so we can move on to Obi-Wan here.
All right.
Sean's first this time.
All right. I went with a 6-4.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 6-9. I feel like this is a 6-9 movie.
Nice.
Okay.
I will give it a 7-1.
Really? I'm at 7.5.
I really dig Hemsworth in this.
I like
Yeah,
when we're
7.5.
like, "Oh, I liked it. I hated it," and then our numbers like
Are
Don't line up. They're very
or they're
wide
like
today.
within 0.5 of each other.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Last topic.
Wait, what'd you give it?
7.5.
7.5?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You
Yeah, a
really
little bit
liked it.
higher. Yeah,
Very
a little
high.
bit higher. I
It's
wasn't
like
expecting to. I fall into that like Netflix's bad trap, and I'm like, oh, this is impressive.
I think this is honestly one of the better Netflix movies I've seen in a while.
Hemsworth really does.
I
Carry
think we're
it,
also
like we
falling
said.
into the same trap of we all have different rating systems.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, we
There-
really do.
Okay, there are times when we rate movies where you guys praise a movie and I just trash it. And like, what do we give the rating? And you're like, 7.3. I'm like, 7.1.
like we have different ideas of what a 7 is.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
We could do a whole pod just on that. That'd be an interesting pod to do.
Yeah,
like
just
What,
How
and
our
not
rating
even like
system
and like
works.
how you should or whatever. And but yeah. Anyway, maybe
All right.
maybe when nothing comes out, which will never happen. So.
Anyway,
We'll have the rating pod.
let's move on. Obi-Wan finished up.
Yes.
Obi-Wan final episode of the series
So,
slash
final 2
season.
episodes.
It does leave it open for a new season.
We'll
And-
just
does,
we'll just
yes.
say series, but we're talking about the English series.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll cover all bases with there.
So I want to start this off by like what end result. We kind of tied up the Reva
So
plot
we'll-
line here. I don't want to rehash the
No,
story.
I'm not
Just
rehashing. Where we left off is what I'm saying. And
Episode 4.
By where we left off, I don't mean in the show. Where we left off personally with this show. Chris, you were pretty much like,
it's checked.
You're pretty much
Yeah, it's pretty
checked.
much set that.
We
Yep.
were like, it's fine where it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really giving us anything that we wanted or needed. It was just kind of like paint by numbers, like, here's the show that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not on Tatooine anymore. And that's pretty cool. But the show was just kind of very generic.
But then we go back to Tatooine.
My God, does this change come to episode 4. There are 5, sorry. Episode 5. Everything changes.
For the better or worse?
So I would say episode 5, a lot of people are like, my God, best episode ever. And I was like, it was fine. Like the whole reveal that the
Yeah,
bad girl,
but like the flashback scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Weren't you all
Yeah.
about that?
the dueling between
Like,
Anakin and
how many
Obi-Wan.
people here simply just saw the architecture of Coruscant
Yeah.
and been like, why are we spending all our time here?
Well, I saw the Padawan. What the heck is it? I don't know what it's called, but the hair.
Oh, the braid.
Yeah, the braid. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And
I just-
it was fun and interesting.
It's a weird thing to harp on, but like the whole like neoclassical like Jedi temple stuff. I was like, I want to spend all my time here.
It's
right?
weird that like you saw
Like
that.
everything's made out of marble and
Yeah.
stuff,
It-
and it's
it-
like colorful marble too.
It's like the things that some people complained about the prequels. You're like, I miss this.
right. I said, well, we also said that
don't-
about 3 movies
don't-
too that
don't
came
get-
out recently.
So
Or
don't get
4.
me wrong. The dialogue in the prequels is some of the worst horseshit I've ever heard. But like the aesthetics of the prequels
Oh, yeah.
are amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
John's giving a
John,
Yeah,
please chime in, John.
Yeah, I guess my take on the last 2 episodes.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
John's going with a meh.
and specifically the aesthetics of the prequels. Yeah, I mean, kind of cool. A little visionary, I guess, but not. I don't know.
Where yeah,
All right.
So the best
feeling it as
parts,
much.
the best parts were the last 2, were clearly the Vader and
Vader
and
v.
Obi-Wan,
Anakin. Yeah,
just kind of
Vader.
interactions slash scenes,
yes.
without a doubt. Like it's,
100%.
I don't want to say it saves the show, but it definitely kind of, it doesn't bump it up anymore. But it's like, this is what I wanted, this is what I got. I'm happy I got it. Boom, done.
It actually made it like interesting
Oh, yeah.
for a time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
time. Like the fights between all of them, like Obi-Wan's still out, like beat Anakin towards in that latter episode. Like that's it. And then you kind of see how it all flows into episode 4, the movie. And then you're like, okay, this is what the show should have been, and this is what we got. We didn't need a freaking kidnapping, or we didn't need an Inquisitor that is not an Inquisitor anymore. But I still really don't care.
Yeah, she was a character that I never cared. Like, I didn't care for the first 4 episodes. And then you have this twist where she was one of the younglings. She was, like, killed, but, like, not killed, but then became an Inquisitor just so she could kill Vader. Like, that was kind of interesting, but also, like, once again, you kidnapped a senator's daughter to do this. Like, you're insane. Why did anybody allow you to do this? That's the worst thing you could do.
I've had enough redemption stories in the Star Wars lore to say we don't need another one. Let's move on.
But her story that continues. First of all, she gets stabbed in episode 5.
Left for dead. Can we start with this?
Yes, please.
I feel like there are more of the supposed deaths in Star Wars.
Well, you knew she wasn't dead because she was still crawling around. She crawled over.
But even then, like, the thing. If Star Wars is gonna kill somebody, like stab somebody through, like, Cad Bane's still alive.
Darth Maul,
like this is
still alive. Yeah. Man who got cut in half, still alive.
Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon dead.
Well, he's
maybe
dead. He's dead.
No, he's dead.
I don't know. Did he die? Maybe he had a heart attack on Camino like years later.
He died.
But
they burnt his body at the end of episode 1.
Was that him?
Yes, it was him.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, Ahsoka Tano crashed in a massive Star Destroyer. That's like there's just these things.
The fake out.
The fake that Star Wars is
famous for, but everything is like series like
I
this.
mean, like Star Wars is like the height of melodrama.
It's no worse than other things. Like, it's no worse than like Marvel or some of the other stuff.
Yeah, like this is like a staple of melodrama the fake death.
So I get it, but let's improve Star Wars, not just continue and then kill off the originals. Like, let's improve it. Let's make it better.
Yeah. Can I just step in here for a second?
Yeah.
On prequels and installments of previously, whatever we want to call this. This is technically a prequel to 4 and 5, 6, and
so we'll call it a prequel.
Yeah. Okay. There are so many fights that I know someone's not going to die in, and not like, obviously Thor's not going to die. They're not going to kill off Chris Hemsworth. Not even in that sense of like, literally, I know they're not going to die. I know they're not going to be seriously maimed. There is like absolutely no stakes, yet we still have to have the fights. Now, I think there's a rewarding aspect of having that last one in episode 6 of Obi-Wan with Vader, and I really did like the scene with him after the thing's been cut, and you can see part of his face, and the voice is different, and
like the voice keeps like changing between Anakin and Vader.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was actually like
I kind of like the line where he's like, "No, I killed Anakin."
Yeah, like that actually is close to what I wanted, and then I got 4 episodes of like total filler that were just okay. Nothing's gonna happen to Leia. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing interesting's happening there. I mean, did Leia really, like, learn about herself? No, she just ended up with a holster at the end. And it's like, you're a child with a gun.
Well, she doesn't have the gun.
Yeah, you were straight from Texas.
She doesn't have a gun. She has a holster that she got from that lady who died.
Okay, but, like, she's not having pixie sticks in it. You know, it is a holster.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
With notches on it.
A gun goes in holsters.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many of this. And look, this isn't just Star Wars either. Like, there's so many other things right now that have to be this, like, nicely knitted together IP of, like, I know this person's not going to die, but they're in a fight, and I have to watch 5 minutes of it. And it's just, you know, not terribly interesting to me. I'll just be honest with you. And, like, I just personally, I'm not big into any of the real CGI fights. It's just like I could skip it, you know?
So by CGI fights, you mean the final fight at the end of this?
I just mean anything that's like sci-fi-y or Marvel or comic book shooting lasers at each other. Like if it's an actual fight scene of like people punching each other or like something like that, that's a little bit more interesting.
Did you like the lightsaber fight at the end? Because that was physical.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay.
And it falls down to the same kind of like vein of from episode 3 where Anakin and Obi-Wan fight.
I don't know if I'd necessarily put it on that level. I thought the episode 3 one was better.
But the same stakes. Neither of them are going to die. It's the same stakes.
Yeah, but we know something's going to happen to Anakin. We just don't know how he gets to Vader. But like something really bad has to happen. I mean, like, yes, they don't literally die, but I know nothing. Like, I definitely know nothing's going to change from Vader to him. Or if it does, what does it matter?
Or like Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul. Obi-Wan's not going to die. He's not going to lose.
I don't know, but that like looked cool.
Yeah,
like,
but you're
I wouldn't say like one of the better scenes in any of these. Like, I just feel like a lot of these are disposable.
So,
but this is why they make the prequel.
But
Qui-Gon
Qui-Gon
dies.
kind of stuff. But Qui-Gon does die, though.
Yeah, but I didn't say Qui-Gon. I said Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul.
But that's like 3 minutes, though.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
some of the coolest fighting.
So in the same vein of what John's kind of alluding to, I want to introduce a new concept, which I like to bring up from time to time.
Concept?
It's the idea of the Soma production. So, it's a little journey, just to explain what the hell Soma means.
Yes, please explain Soma.
If anyone's familiar with the book Brave New World, it's a dystopian thing. I don't have to get into detail, but there's a drug in it that just causes people to feel somewhat euphoric, but ultimately numb.
Is it B6?
So that they kind of like that. I was hoping to bring it up earlier, but we did this in a weird.
But we can recycle it to this one. That's great content, man.
But
we should. By the way, we should call this like Dr. Sam.
Dr. Sam. But it's ultimately makes people feel numb, so they can live with the horrors of the world that they live in. But like, there are so many stuff out there where I feel like it kind of just ends up making me feel numb, and like Obi-Wan is one of them.
Obi-Wan, the show.
The show.
Yes.
Where it's like, ultimately, it was fine. I don't hate the fact that I watched it. But I mean, there was more productive things I could have done with that time.
Exactly.
I could have read a book. Yeah. I could have gone for a walk.
I've been saying this the whole time, and I'm not gonna. But it didn't add anything.
Yeah,
it really didn't. I mean, like, and okay, can we talk about the last 3 seconds or whatever it was? What did you guys think of Qui-Gon?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Because you knew after episode 3, you knew it was going to happen at some point because Yoda brings up the fact that he was able to finally talk to Qui-Gon through the Force. And you know that because he was supposed to be in episode 3, Star Wars episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. He was supposed to, like, Liam Neeson was going to be in that movie, and that scene just ended up not getting... filmed and cut. So it was nice to because that's how Obi-Wan learns how to become one with the Force to come back as a Force ghost is because he learns from Qui-Gon how to do it. And I like that at the end where he's like, "Hey, you're here." And he's like, "Yeah, you just weren't ready to see me yet. Now you are. Let's go."
Look, in building on that, like I would not mind a second season, just as long as it is not surrounding Reva, whatever her name is, Anakin, Leia, not Anakin, Luke, Leia.
Just give
Darth
me
Vader. Just give me.
Can you just give me Obi-Wan? It can be Tatooine. Just give me Obi-Wan, like I don't know, Detective Obi-Wan or something.
Yeah,
like for real.
Not even that. I mean, you could just
like give him a quirky partner or something.
Yeah.
You could have them go
Jawa?
off-world. You could have them go off-world just trying to find Force-sensitive kids and say...
Try to protect them
at least try to protect some, like, something like that.
Part of the underground that was established
or even,
in the
like,
show.
just discover Ahsoka still around.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Very
already have
surprised
her.
that Yeah, very surprised that she didn't show up in this.
Well, that's I was thinking about that too, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay she doesn't show up because
Yeah.
I think in Rebels is when she actually finds out that Anakin is Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So I think that's after. I don't
Okay.
time wise. I just
Personally, by the way, I was like helpless to not be nostalgic about that. Like, how could you not be of Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon showing up?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
My feeling about it was like, oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, because he was like, I'm never doing a movie like this ever again.
And like there was also at that time period in his career that was kind of him slumming it a bit.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, this is all you can get, isn't it? That's not a stupid, dumb action movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think they were like, hey, you want to show up for a day in anywhere in the world for $1 million? Yes, sir.
Yeah, you say 7 words.
Yes.
The scene that launched 1,000 YouTube explainer videos.
Yeah, right.
I can't. There's so many.
But what does it mean?
Explain the ending of the ending of.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
for every TV show. The ending of this explain.
Yeah.
I'm like,
explain this.
what? Why-
Oh, it's so dumb.
The ending of Lawrence Arabia explained.
yeah, right. You're
It's-
just is it recapping or
But
explaining?
get this, John. He died in that motorcycle crash.
Yeah.
Doesn't that like blow your mind?
I should probably watch Lawrence of Arabia. Never actually seen
You
it.
should have come with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. How long is that movie?
Long.
Oh, it's
It's
long.
There's an intermission.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Titanic got an intermission too, so
That's
you
a
know
little
reasons, and then Endgame.
Although, Chris, have
had
you
no
ever
intermission.
sat through a movie with an intermission?
Like in the movie theater.
In the
Titanic,
movie
yeah.
theater?
better.
Titanic
Yeah,
had an
Titanic, you just
intermission.
said, yeah.
Because it's an experience.
Well, I mean, I went to the bathroom, but
You,
you know,
you went with us to see Gods and Generals.
Did you?
I think it. Yeah, I probably
Yeah,
did.
So
yeah.
there you go. That
First
had
of
an
all, I
intermission.
apologize. Second of all,
Hey, why do you
like,
apologize for that? Like it was.
Gods and Generals.
I mean, sure, it was boring, but it's kind of like right up our alley.
We could do
so-
a Con on Classic Gettysburg, by the way, whenever you want to.
Can we talk about greatest musical soundtracks ever? 'Cause
I keep
that's
forgetting
probably
about
top
it.
5.
Yeah, the theme
Gettysburg?
To
Gettysburg, yeah.
Theme to Gettysburg.
Randy Edelstein.
Is that who? I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta watch Last of the Mohicans when he does half of that soundtrack. Not the one everyone knows,
Yeah.
but there's like it's like, oh, this is music from Gettysburg. It's the same thing.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back on Obi-Wan. So yeah, I just felt like this show did a nice job of connecting the prequels and the original trilogy better than it could have. I felt. I mean, you have Anakin explaining that, or I should say, Darth Vader explaining that he killed Anakin, and you have Obi-Wan finally calling him Darth for the first time, which that's how he refers to him in
Yep.
Episode 4. And interesting enough, how Obi-Wan like damages his helmet. If you notice, he gives him that scar on top of his head that he has in Empire Strike in Return of the
Return
Jedi.
of the Jedi. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice little
Yeah.
cap tip.
Yeah, like all those little
we
Easter
needed
eggs.
6
are kind of-
episodes for that.
No,
I don't
no,
think
no.
so,
I just
but-
I just feel like there's no way this show isn't better if it's like only Vader and like Obi-Wan and like a couple like things in the
Yeah, I understand the only way to get him out of hiding was the kidnapping plot of Leia. That's fine, but this could have been 3 episodes. You have
Oh, this should have been a movie. This is a movie.
100% a movie, and the fact that they're going to release this as a movie is just absurd.
Right.
It just
6 hour. Well,
in
it's less than
theaters.
6
cut
hours.
down so much of this, make it into a movie, get rid of the whole subplot about the Inquisitor in general, like all the Inquisitors. There's no reason for like any of them.
Well, that was the other part of it too. Of my like, well, we know what happens. It's like it's a Luke and Aunt Beru and Uncle Lars, and like nothing at all happens to
Right,
them.
right.
So it's like,
Although
what's the point of all this?
I like when he's like, "Hey, you want to meet him?" Like at the end, and his line is, "Hello there."
yeah.
Like
And
that was
they
just a great.
teed that up.
Yes,
like
they
there
did.
was a wait there.
So
they just waited. Hello there.
I watched a video like all the Easter eggs from the show, and one of the things was like this whole show he refused to say hi, like hello to anybody. Like when like Leia's like, "Oh, me and my dad are like doing whatever on this planet. Say hello, Dad." And he's like, "Hi." Like he just refuses to say his line. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
you got to say it.
It's a meme.
Well, it's his first line in Episode 4 as well. And then when he meets General Grievous and he says it there too.
No one called him General Kenobi.
This makes me pine for the episodes 1, 2, and 3.
I wish there was more prequel shit posting in this. That would have been better. Would have been a better use of time for
But
me.
I liked the fight between Obi-Wan and Vader, the final fight. I thought that was great. And
Yeah.
you got to see more of Vader being a badass, which is something that not only the original trilogy didn't show, but like you're hinted at it. Like this is like this super bad guy and like super strong. He's like the most powerful person in the Force, but like never uses it.
Yeah,
in
you
the
never
show,
really
in the
see
movies.
why he's the chosen one.
Right.
And I guess sort of dovetailing off of that too, and I guess you're right, he's the most powerful and you never really see it. And maybe, that explains it, but I feel like the more entries into the Star Wars universe, the like less I understand the Force and its like possible things you can do with it. Do you guys ever get that sense?
Oh yeah.
Well, the fact
like,
that we got proven that you can heal things in the new trilogy.
well,
I mean, the new trilogy is
ignore
is
that.
is like a mass murderer of an offender for like this
so
stuff.
you have an idea of what the Force can do if you watch the originals and then like you watch the prequels and they expand on what is capable of using the Force.
Yeah, and I don't
kind of
think there's anything that's like super out of line with what's in the originals and the prequels, really.
Right. Like there's nothing insane. It's the sequel trilogy where they're just like, you can do anything. Everything
But
is
then,
possible.
like, in this one, though, he's like stopping a ship, right?
So he
In the 5th episode, right?
Yeah. Where he stops that. I mean, you see that in the sequel trilogy, but it has.
Well, with him stopping the Thunderbolt, or
no, in the last episode where they think Chewie dies, but then immediately after it's shown that Chewie's alive because they can't like actually kill him off somehow, or like tease that, or like
They've killed off 3 out of 4 main
It's
characters
just
already.
dumb.
So,
anyways. I don't want to talk about the sequel trilogy too much, but
God, no, please don't.
But in other media, they do show like in Force Unleashed, the video game where he pulls down.
I mean, the
starts-
video games. Wild West, though.
Exactly, but it is shown that
It's possible.
It's possible.
Right.
Plus, it's a small ship. Like,
Sure, but like I don't know. They never show anything like that on that.
Yoda,
scale,
who is completely detached from the Force in Empire Strikes Back, is able to lift the ship out of the swamp.
That's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
good point.
So-
Like, I didn't think him grabbing the ship where it's like,
That
one,
is a
we've been explained that he's the most powerful
Yeah.
Force user,
Yeah.
and 2, it's like, I don't think it's that ridiculous that he could stop a ship.
Right.
The one thing with that isn't necessarily like what he does, but it's like to me like when he doesn't use it. It's
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
why wouldn't you just
Always.
why aren't you just Superman?
Like, the only thing
know?
I can think of is like, that's rather exhausting for
Yeah.
him to do.
I guess though they never really
Oh.
they never really explain that.
Okay,
well enough.
it's weird to say, but the Mandalorian does. Every time Grogu uses his powers,
He, like, falls asleep.
he basically passes out
You're
because
right.
it's a very draining. So that's the closest thing that I have to explaining. Like, yeah, it's exhausting to use your powers.
Listen, like, I don't
I
think
don't know.
any of this is like outside the realm of what the Force can do.
Right.
Unlike, I can just create a giant force of Star Destroyers just using
Yeah.
my mind. That was a bit outside of the realm.
Prequels, I should say, episodes 7 and 8, right? Yeah, 6, 7,
Yeah, 7, 8, yeah.
and 9. So 8 and 9, the last two. That's when
It really
like
it takes a huge turn.
because like the whole like
all the Palpatine planet stuff.
well the
is,
Palpatine's the healing in that one where she somehow heals that.
Honestly,
snake
like,
thing.
I don't know why you guys are caught up with the healing thing. That kind of makes sense to me.
I guess, but in
And the projection.
astral project,
The astral
yourself
projection's a bit out there.
like
I'll
to
admit that.
do that across the galaxy and that.
I
kills-
mean, but in fairness,
remember that
it
was
does
a
kill him.
Fortnite game.
oh my god.
Oh my god, those movies! Thank God that came out right before COVID.
I know.
and we just like our cultural memory of that just got washed away.
The fact that the 9th episode or the 9th movie came out, but like there was the like introduction to it. You had to play Fortnite to get the introduction to that movie. Like
of the Emperor, who
yes,
Sean somehow returned.
Somehow the Emperor
just-
has returned.
I
We're
love
getting
that.
off. We're getting off here.
I know, but it's still Star Wars, and it's a scene that
I just
begs
like
repeating.
I'd just like to point out, I've said this before on the podcast.
Yep.
That line, not bad script writing, just bad storytelling.
No.
It's no, it's
No.
both. Because but
How is it? How would you write that line?
I wouldn't.
I mean, I guess I
would give
wouldn't
a
have
reason.
him come back.
Exactly. It's bad storytelling. It's
But
not bad script writing.
I love
No, that. But okay, well, this is real. We don't.
it's,
that's
not,
all.
it's bad dialogue. It's not bad
sure.
dialogue.
No, it's both. It's both.
How would you write that then?
You don't.
You would make up a reason.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't
you
know.
create a reason.
Even if it was dumb.
But like it
Okay.
is a dumb reason.
Okay, changing subject. Really important. Never had Duel of the Fates.
Yeah.
Guys,
the trailer-
remember
the
we were
trailer.
We had like
hyped as
Oh, yeah.
fucking as hell about
So,
that,
we
and we never
had
done
like
it.
a weird like knockoff like store
So,
brand version
but
of
this was
Duel of
John
Fates.
Williams. This was John Williams doing the score for this.
You're right.
And
You're right.
the thing that I noticed recently about John Williams, he did the sequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
All of that was forgettable. I don't remember any of it.
No, you're right.
And I've heard
all
it
the
all.
prequels have. I mean, just great soundtracks.
Oh,
like each
amazing.
have distinctive
Yes.
ones for each. And I don't know, maybe just because I
And-
was more of a nerd then. But no, you're right. There's nothing.
So, which of the three prequels, which one's your favorite to listen
the
to?
soundtrack.
Yes. Do you ever go back and just listen to one movie soundtrack?
The first,
I mean, I
has
think
to
the
be
first
one.
one's like just really.
First
good.
one is really good.
I'd say,
But I think the third one's
Third one is
good,
good.
too.
I personally like the second one.
I
do
will
love-
admit, if I have to pick a single song to listen to, it's across the not across the universe.
Across the Star.
Across the stars.
Stars, yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah, from the third one.
Yeah, the love song.
the love song from
But Duel of the Fates is really
Duel
good.
of the Fates is amazing. Like
just gets you amped.
the,
Oh no,
the
not
music-
no. The one. What's the one in the third one?
Battle of Heroes.
Battle of the
Battle of
Heroes.
Heroes.
Yeah.
Which is when they're fighting Yoda and
No, well,
Emperor.
yeah, and
It's like
Anakin
the theme
and
of the
Obi-Wan.
movie, more or
yeah.
less.
Yeah, each one has like a theme, and all the themes are really good. But then if you break down the whole movie as a whole, you're like, wow, the whole soundtrack is really good.
Yeah, and it's not like all of these other ones where it's like, hey guys, Binary Sunset.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
the Force theme song, like remember that from the original trilogy? It's none of that. Which this soundtrack was basically felt like that. I remember.
Yeah, it felt like Mandalorian.
I remember-
Which is just, oh no, scratch
no.
that. Mandalorian's
Mandalorian's great.
good. Mandalorian's good, and it's its own thing.
You know,
yeah.
to a lesser extent, the theme to the Book of Boba Fett isn't bad. It's not great,
yeah.
but it's not bad. I remember
What was the
seeing
theme to Boba Fett?
there was like the
Oh yeah. That was actually.
I remember seeing a YouTube video like the theme to Obi-Wan. I'm like, I cannot tell you what the theme to Obi-Wan is. I really can't.
There's no like memorable credit scene.
No.
Or something I watched for 6 hours.
Yeah.
You know, ish.
And I just feel like John Williams has lost it over the. I not lost it. I feel like he doesn't care.
I mean,
Can we put a
he's
pin in
like-
that and talk about that next week if John Williams lost?
Why?
I don't know. That's just a funny. Like,
I don't know.
Okay.
Like he lost it. Like it's like, yeah. I mean, he's like that. Like okay, you know, the first 90 was really good, John.
Yeah.
The last 3, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he's like 90 years old. If
No,
I
I know.
lose it when I'm 90, all right,
I just don't think
I
he,
will take that.
I don't think he he's like. I understand he's old. I just don't think he's like as devoted. I feel like they're coming to him and being like, "Hey, can you do this?" And he's just like, "How much you gonna pay me?" Yeah, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah. We really need to do the soundtrack / John Williams episode. By the way,
All right.
all right. Let's
another night.
let's close this out here.
Yeah, let's close it out.
So next Star Wars show, or next Star Wars show would be Mando, right?
No,
An-
Cassian.
December.
Andor.
Cassian, yeah.
Cassian. All right.
Or Andor. Isn't it?
It's Andor.
It
It's
would
Andor.
be yes. It's
Which
Andor.
looks interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have a lot of faith in that. Probably misplaced, but I like Tony Gilroy, the showrunner. So
That
we'll
comes out
see.
in July,
yeah, it's summer,
mid
or
July.
August. Yeah.
So
Plus, it has that guy who played what was it, Macmillan in The Crown. It looks like he's going to be the bad guy.
we had to get a Crown reference in there.
Hey, don't even remember. who
Second
that is.
Crown reference.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I must have blanked out on the first one. Anyway,
We were
you
talking
like-
about the Matt Smith.
if you like all of our episodes, you can find them on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Knights of Nerdatude. Send us a message. Tell us what you think about John Williams, because, you know, hopefully he's not cursed after this episode. That does it for us for this week.
Once again, if I'm cursed at 90, I will take that.
Yes, write to us if you think John Williams has lost it.
Until next time.
Bye.
Adios.
YouTube video. Has John Williams lost it? Funny face.
With a super shocked kind of face.
Exactly. Good night.
Good night.